So got a bit of work to do on a couple of bikes for next weekend, racing at Helsington. There's my bike which my missus is going to ride, and a 79 YZ465g which one of my other mates is going to ride. But before that, I just wanted to get through this one really. So this is another pre-sold bike, and it's a 1980 YZ465g. So older Yamahas like this one would have had matching engine and frame numbers, and this one does. Generally an absolute animal of a bike. So it's a 465cc motor, 5-speed box, which is good. It gives you the ability to use all of that power, and supposedly handled really well. So I think this. So in '79 it had the shock went all the way up the back of the frame in like a tunnel, and in this one it actually mounts. The shock mounts. It's a steel frame, and it mounts into the back of the frame a bit more. It's still a cantilever suspension, so there's no linkage, which makes it eligible to race in the twin shock classes. And yeah, an absolute beast of a bike these were really. These were supposed to be the thing that had come out to rival the Makos really at the time. So a couple of little issues with it. The biggest one is the flipping tank is split on both sides above the decal. So I wasn't aware of that when I bought it, and I'll be mentioning that to the chap who's buying the bike. And then the other one is they've swapped the carb out for a Keen carb, a Keen flat slide carb. It's possibly, well, I say possibly, it's probably a copy. So be nice to find an original carb. They do work pretty well, these copy carbs, but you obviously got to be a bit careful with the jetting on them, which is the biggest thing to get right. So I'd always say it's a little bit less dangerous to go back to the stock carb. So obviously she needs work, but she's in nice restorable condition, and she's got some lovely bits to her, which we'll have a look at. So tank is cracked, incorrect carb, exhaust had some repairs to it. They've actually plated the exhaust, which is the best way to do it really. There's a crack in the rear wheel, so that'll need sorting out, but flipping loads of compression, goes through the gears, which I'll demonstrate. Great spark, although I couldn't get the kill switch to work. So on these older kill switches, that's like a rubber piece there, so the rubber goes all brittle, so you can't push it down properly. So I heated it up to get it to move, but it still wouldn't work. And then I noticed that the actual kill switch wire was snapped, so it wasn't attached anyway. So I've just stripped that back a little bit, and then we can use that on an earth, and then that stops the spark. So when we come to get it running, if it does anything silly, then that's what we can use to stop it. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at it. That's where the split is on the tank, which is a proper disappointment. Definitely didn't know about that. Original Kickstarter, nice big long lever there to help you turn that massive lump over. I do like these 465s, I think they're proper good. Engine cases look good. It's been spewing oil out of the exhaust pipe, which has led to this build up here, because I obviously didn't like washing this bike too much. But that build up will come off. Lots of nice original and period bits to it. So like these things I do, you carry your spare spark plug around with you. Always nice to have them on. And I like this bit as well. This is a little toolbox, or carrying your sandwiches or something. Proper nice bit of memorabilia. That was a Preston Petty one. I just think they're proper cool. It just shows, yeah, it just shows that most cross bikes in America, they were really used as trail bikes. And when I say trail bikes, they're different to our kinds of trails because it's all sandy. Or the places that I've been to, and more than likely the place that this will have come from, it's all sandy. So there's not huge rocks. It's not wet. So generally they have overall an easier life than our bikes do. Which is why things like the frame rails and stuff end up being in better condition. What they do, of course, is they leave them outside because it doesn't rain as much, which is why we get the distressed look. Anyway, so the forks, there's a fraction of pitting up at the top. These were already split. They're really brittle. I've had the heat gun on them, and I did manage to push them down, and I didn't see any pitting. The only thing that I did notice is on this side in particular, it was pretty dirty. And looking down at the fork, I would probably reckon that fork seal's gone. I mean, before you ride this bike, you're going to need to be doing those fork seals anyway. Like it was last registered in 2004, which is almost unbelievable that it was being used. I say up until that recently, it was flipping 18 years ago, and it's stupid me. Front wheel looks good. Hub looks good. Brake plate looks good. That's all nice. These are the repairs. You can see to the pipe. Be nice to get a new pipe on there. There's the Keen carb, the Keen flat slide carb. Like I say, if it was me, I'd like to get an original carb back on it. Original style gear lever, which is nice. Obviously the chain slider's shattered, as they do. Again, with the heat and the sun, it's the UV rays, I believe, is what does it. And it will have been that has done that to the tank. And then they'll have not been flipping fuel in it for ages, and then they've put fuel in it, and then it's just popped it. I know it's happened to me. I've put fuel in some of these old tanks, and then flipping 2 days later you come to it and the fuel's all over the floor because it's perished it. I think they'll have drilled that airbox to get some extra airflow in there for extra performance that you need out of a 465. I have a feeling that's a universal silencer, and you can see there's a massive ding in there. Now I think that ding, well, it's come from the swing arm, hasn't it, or yeah, well, anyway, wherever it's come from, it's big. Oh look, it is actually a proper Yamaha silencer. Wonder what's hit that then. It's quite bizarre. And then there's a split crack in the rear wheel here and here, so both in the same place. So it's had a knock there, I would say. It's that's caused it. Swing arm looks to be in good nick. Aluminium swing arm. brake torque arm looks decent. Rear brake plate looks decent. Obviously plastics you're going to need to be changing. But yeah, looks like a decent restoration project and make a good twin shock bike. Let's get the old gearbox check done. So it's a 5-speed box. We're in neutral at the minute. Down into first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. That's the top of the box. Fourth, third, second, and neutral. So it's got all the gears there. Obviously I can't check it going through the gears because I'm not really able to ride at the minute. But yeah, let's see if we can get it fired up. Okay, so I've just had it running. I'm thinking that silencer is off something like an old IT or something like that. I mean, it's definitely not a YZ silencer. Bike's a bit smoky. I'm gonna say that it could do with definitely a bigger pilot jet. I've had to turn the idle screw right the way in to get it to tick over. They're always funny to start these. It's like they don't need as much of a kick as you think. Yeah, they don't need as much of a kick as you think. I remember the first, it was an YZ465 actually, bought from a fellow in America. We went to go and have a look at it. I was literally sat on the bike, and we turned the fuel on and stuff like that, and I literally just like rested my foot on the kickstart and it just pushed down and the thing fired up. It's not what you'd expect from a big bore at all, but that just seems to be how they are. Easy starters. And a decent overall bike. So there we go, 1980 Yamaha YZ465g. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search Phoenix Motos.